welcome to this week's preview of Friday Lights Out on TexasHighSchoolFootball.com. I'm your host, Taylor Ahrens, and this week we're headed south to Freedom Stadium to watch the District 10 5A matchup between undefeated Katy Paetow and 6-2 Manvel. And this game is a big one for this district because a win this week for Katy Paetow locks them in as the District 10 5A champs. The Mavericks are currently on a 3-game winning streak and are coming off a 70-14 beatdown of Fort Bend Kepner, outscoring them 28-0 in the second half of that game. But Katy Paetow is a much more difficult opponent for Manvel. To win this game, their team leaders are going to have to step up and rise to the occasion. So let me fill you in on these leaders, starting with Manvel's offense. Quarterback Caden Smith has over 700 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 3 rushing touchdowns. And last week, Smith threw 3 touchdown passes to 3 different receivers in the win over Fort Bend Kepner. The Mavericks also have a strong run game, and they average over 260 yards per game rushing. They are led by running back DeMonte Seymour, who is averaging 10 yards per carry and has over 1,000 yards rushing and 17 touchdowns. On defense, the Mavericks are allowing 15 points per game and are led by Justin Medlock with 55 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 2.5 sacks. And Kayvon Wright has 23 tackles, 7 tackles for loss, and 6 sacks. Manvel's defense is going to have their work cut out for them because the Paetow Panthers are scoring machine. The Panthers are scoring 55 points per game and holding opponents to just 6 points per game on defense. In fact, they have only allowed 7 points total scored against them in their last 5 games, outscoring those 5 opponents 327-7. They're averaging over 260 yards rushing and over 400 yards of total offense per game. They're coming off a 55-7 win over Fort Bend Hightower. The Panthers are loaded with talents on both sides of the ball, starting with their offense and quarterback C.J. Domas with over 1,000 passing yards, 17 touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns. Running back Demario Phillips has over 670 yards, 11 touchdowns, and is averaging 7 yards per carry. And last week against Hightower, Phillips scored 3 touchdowns and had over 150 yards rushing. Jacob Brown is another Panther running back who is tearing up the field with 630 yards rushing, 12 touchdowns, and is averaging 13 yards per rush. The defense leaders are linebacker Damian Sanford with 48 tackles, 16 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. Also, defensive back Contrell Webb has had 3 interceptions. Friday night football is always fun, so come join me this week for this matchup that starts at 7 p.m. at Freedom Stadium. And be sure to find me and say hi. But if you can't make it, still keep up with all the action by following along on our TexasHighSchoolFootball.com social media sites where I'll be reporting from the game.